Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Liaquat Zaman. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to this series. If you guys don't know, this is my channel, Roots of Knowledge. I make videos of Arabic, of Hadith, of Quran, of different topics, trying to cover all the topics I can so that people who want to learn Arabic, who want to understand the Islamic sciences, can have access to these. So this is a sadaqah jariyah. If any of you guys are interested in supporting my channel, check out in the description. You can support me through Patreon, through PayPal. And yeah, so let's get on with this then. So the text that we're covering is called Mukhtasar al-Qudoori. And alhamdulillah, we've reached up to the chapter of Awqat allati tukrahu fiha salat. So Awqat is the jama of waqt, which actually means time. So tukrahu is majhul, but you guys should know what this means. So put in the comments if you know what tukrahu means. And sorry for my cough, guys. Tulu is rising, to rise, rising, and this word came before in the chapter of the timings of prayer, if you remember. Ghurub is setting, the setting of the sun, and this also came before as well. Qiyam means standing. And it literally here refers to the zawal of the sun, the zenith, when the sun reaches the highest point in the sky. Fi dhahirati, dhahira, it means the afternoon or noon. And janaza means a deceased or dead body that's been prayed on. Right, so la yusalla ala janazatin. Wa la yasjud li tilawa. So tilawa means recitation. So this sajda tilawa means the prostration of recitation. This is a chapter which is going to come next, inshallah, where we're going to cover all the issues related to the sajda of tilawa. Okay. يتنفل تنفل يتنفل تنفلا. It means to pray optional prayers, nafal. And then you have what else is it? Fawa'it is jam' of fa'ita, and this basically means missed prayers. Right, missed prayers. You could run تنفل ركعتي وليلة قبل المغرب. Right, that's done. تركيب now. So as you know, with all titles there is a hadha hidden. So bab is mudaf, or awqat is mudaf ilay, and then you have hadha, which becomes the mubtada. التي تكره فيها الصلاة. Salat is going to be the naib file of tukrahu. لا يجوز الصلاة. Salat is the fa'il of لا يجوز. And عند طلوع الشمس مضاف مضاف إليه becomes the ظرف. Right, so that's the ظرف. ولا عند غروبها. عند غروب مضاف مضاف إليه ظرف as well. إلا عصر يومه. إلا عصر مضاف and مضاف إليه. So this is استثناء basically. ولا عند قيامها. عند is مضاف, قيام is مضاف إليه, and that becomes معطوف onto the previous. في الظهيرة جار مجرور. لا يصلى is فعل plus النائب فاعل على جنازة. ولا يسجد للتلاوة فعل plus فاعل plus جار مجرور. Okay, and next one. ويكره أن يتنفل or يتنفل. So it's considered makruh. يكره مجهول. And all of this is actually the naib file of يكره. So أن يتنفل is فعل فاعل. بعد is مضاف. صلاة الفجر is مضاف مضاف إليه, becomes ظرف. حتى is حرف جر. If you ever get حرف جر before فعل مضارع, you have to have أن hidden, أن مصدرية. That's why you have تطلع with a fatha at the end of it. الشمس is the fa'il of تطلع. وبعد صلاة العصر مضاف مضاف إليه. حتى تغرب. حتى أن. Right, حتى is حرف جر. أن is ناصبة مصدرية. شمس is the fa'il of تغرب. And then what else do you have? ولا بأس. لا بأس. لا is نفي الجنس. بأس is the ism of لا. بأن يصلي في هذين أو يصلى في هذين الوقتين الفوائت. Right, so this is the مفعول به of يصلي. If it's يصلي معلوم, then that's going to be the مفعول به. If it's يصلى مجهول, then it's going to be the naib file. In this case, it's مجهول. Okay, so all right, let's carry on. So yukrah. Now, by the way, al-fawaid is not jama muannath salim. Okay, so if someone asks, well, why is fawaid got fatha for? Shouldn't jama muannath salim have kasra? Shouldn't it be fawaiti? No, فوائد التاء is أصل. Is a تاء أصلي. Okay. ويكره فعل أن يتنفل. Same thing as before. نائب فاعل. أن يتنفل أو يتنفل بعد طلوع مضاف مضاف إليه بأكثر. Now I want you to tell me in the comments, why is it أكثر? با is حرف جر, so shouldn't it be بأكثر? So in the comments. And the second thing I want you to tell me is, what is ركعتي originally? ركعتي, this has come many times before. Put in the comments, what is ركعتي originally? لا يتنفل قبل المغرب. So يتنفل is فعل plus the فاعل, قبل is مضاف, and مغرب is مضاف إليه, and there you have it. تركيب done. Right, let's cover the maslas. Now there's four main maslas in today's text. So the first masla is, what are the times in which you're not allowed to pray? So in the day, basically, there are 3 times in which you are not allowed to pray any prayer at all. It's considered to be impermissible totally. What are these 3 times? So these 3 times are sunrise, and that yellow is a bit too light. Right, that's right. So sunrise, sunset, and zenith. Right, we call it zawal. So when the sun is rising on the horizon, and when the sun is setting on the horizon, and when the sun is in the highest point in the sky, these are 3 times when we are not allowed to pray salat. We don't pray salat. So the sun moves in this fashion, like this, as you guys know, or if you say that the earth spins, whatever. But let's just look at it from a like a movement of the sun. So the sun moves from sunset, goes to the zawal, and it goes down. Now I've explained all of this in the chapter regarding the timings of salat. So if you check it out there, it's very, very easy to understand. So sunrise, sunset, and the zawal, which is the highest, when the sun is in the highest point in the sky. So 1, 2, 3. These are 3 times that you're not allowed to pray anything. 3 things you can't do. You can't pray any salat, right? Number 1. And number 2 is you're not allowed to pray any janazah. So number 1 is salat. Number 2 is no janazah. And number 3, you can't do the prostration of tilawa. Yeah. So prostration of tilawa, there's 14 places in the Quran that if you read them, you have to perform what we call a sajda tilawa. So that chapter is going to come, like I said, next lesson. But over here, what we're saying is these 3 things you cannot do at these times. So la yajuzu, it's not permissible. Not permissible. La yajuzu as-salatu, not permissible to pray salat at the time of the sun rising and at the time of the sun setting. Illa asra yawmihi. Now, illa asra yawmihi, I have to explain something over here. Okay, illa asra yawmihi. I'll explain that in a bit. Wala inda qiyamiha, nor when the sun is standing. So the sun is standing, the Arabs say, when it's at the highest point in the sky. Fi dhahirati, at noon. Right. Now, illa asra yawmihi. What does illa asra yawmihi mean? So if we go, actually, I'll draw another one here. Right. So imagine it over there, right? Talking about there. So let's say, for instance, this is sunset. Right. The time that the sun sets. Let's just get yellow. Right. Let's just draw it over there. So sunset. Now, sunset, let's say, for example, it's 6 p.m. Let's, for argument's sake, just say sunset is 6 p.m. So if sunset is at 6 p.m., you are not allowed to pray at 6 p.m. Right? However, Asr is unique from all the 5 salats. Asr is an exemption. So let's say if a guy gets home and it's 5:58, so he's got 2 minutes left until sun sets. So what does he do then? He's got to pray 4 rakats, and it's going to take him at least, 5 to 10 minutes to pray his 4 rakats. So what does this guy do? So this guy is actually allowed to start his prayer, and even if it goes into the sunrise time, so imagine there's 4 rakats there, he gets 1 before 6 o'clock, and then the other 2, 3, and 4, he gets those rakats after 6 o'clock when the sun is setting. This is allowed. This is the only salat out of the 5 prayers that is actually considered to be permissible. Right? This does not apply to any other salat. That's why the text says illa asra yawmihi. Right? So on that particular day, when the sun is rising, when the sun is setting, right? He got 1 rakat before the sunset, and he got the rest of the rakats after the sunset over there. That's all. He's praying 3 rakats in sunset. This is allowed. And like I said, it's only because of Asr. That's all. It does not apply to Fajr, no Dhuhr, no Maghrib, no Isha. Only Asr. Okay. And the detailed explanation of this, inshallah, when I start Hidayah in the future, I'll explain it over there in much more detail. Okay, so this is why he says, Illa Asra Yawm, except for Asr of that day. Anyway, so then he says, Wala yusalla ala janazatin, and prayer must not be prayed on a funeral, on a janazah, at these 3 times. Wala yasjud lit tilawati, and nor should a person do sajda of tilawa at these 3 times. Okay, so let me just write this down. Only Asr, it only applies to Asr, does not apply to any other prayer. It doesn't apply to Fajr, by the way, yeah? Okay, so that some of the madhabs, they actually allow this ruling for Fajr as well. That as long as a person gets 1 rakat before Fajr, right, then it's okay. But no. So let me zoom this in. Yeah, so if a person gets 1 rakat before Fajr and then the 2nd rakat, the sun has risen, no. You have to repeat your Fajr again after sunrise. Alright, so let's get back to this. So the next masla. So this is one masla that's done. Let's look at the next masla then. Okay, وَلَا يُصَلَّ عَلَى جَنَازَةٍ, like I said, وَلَا يَسْجُدْ لِلتِّلَاوَةِ. So no salat al-janazah, no sajda tilawa. Next masla is this, is that there are 2 times in which you're not allowed to pray nafal. So there's these 3 times where you can't pray any prayer, but there's 2 times where you can't pray any nafal. Right? So what are these? So yukrahu an yatanafal, it's makruh for a person to pray nafal ba'da salat al-fajr, after the fajr prayers has been prayed until the sun rises. So, okay, let's see how I'm going to draw this. Right, so imagine this is the prayer time now. Yeah. This is sunrise, sunset, and zawal. Now, at fajr time, once you prayed your fard salat of fajr. Okay, let me just zoom this in just to make it a bit more clear so that you guys can see. So let's say, for example, a person prays their fajr at 6 o'clock. Yeah, so they pray fajr at 6 o'clock and sunrise is at 7. Yeah, so fajr is at 6, sunrise is at 7. So if 6 o'clock you pray your fard salat, you're not allowed to pray anything after that until sunrise. No nafal, sorry. You can't pray any optional prayer. Right? From after your fajr, after you gave salam, all the way until the sun rises, you are not allowed to pray any nafal prayer at all. Okay? So this is a no nafal prayer. The same goes for asr as well. Once you pray your asr, so let's say for example here you prayed your asr, you cannot pray any nafal optional prayer after asr all the way until sunset. So let's say asr is at 6 o'clock and sunset is at 7 p.m. You can't pray. Oh, actually, I made a mistake, didn't I? So the fajr, obviously, fajr is not at 6 p.m. Yeah, fajr is at 6 a.m. and sunrise at 7 a.m. So change that, guys. So asr, after asr, until once you prayed your asr fard prayer, you cannot pray any nafal after that. Yes, before asr, you are allowed to pray nafal prayer. And so this rule applies to both post fajr and post asr. Yeah, no nafal. Right, let's have a look at the text then. So, however, qadha you can pray. So at these times you're allowed to pray qadha prayer. So when we say nafal, you can't pray any sunnahs, anything like that. Qadha prayer you can pray at these times, right? So if you have missed prayers that you have in the past, you're allowed to pray in these times. Just the nafal you can't pray. All right, let's go to the text. Wa yukrahu, it's considered to be disliked or offensive. And yatanafala, that a person does nafal ba'da salat al-fajr, after the fajr prayer, until the sun rises. Hatta tatlu ash-shams, until the sun rises at 7 a.m. Wa ba'da salat al-asr, and after salat al-asr, let's say it's at 6 p.m. Hatta taghrub ash-shams, until the sun sets. You can't pray nafal at these times in the day. ولا بأس, but it's okay, nothing's wrong, بأن يصلي, that a person prays في هذين الوقتين, in these 2 times, الفوائد, the missed prayers, qadha prayers. Yeah, so fawaid refers to qadha. Last penultimate masala, last but not least, well, second to last. So يكره أن يتنفل بعد الفجر بأكثر من ركعتين. So let's say for example, like this is the time for the fajr, yeah. So fajr, let's say, starts in the morning at this time, and then you have sunrise there. So let's say, for example, like you pray your Fajr prayer. So Fajr prayer starts. Once Fajr prayer starts, right, so let me just draw this here. This is where you pray your Fajr Fard prayer. So let's say you prayed your Fard here. So Fajr, let's say, starts at, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning, right? And you prayed your Fard at 6 o'clock, right? 2 rakats of Fard. Before this, you are only allowed to pray 2 rakats of Sunnah. You cannot pray any other nafil, Hanafi say. Only 2 rakats of Sunnah. So in this time, besides the 2 Sunnah, no other nafil. Yeah, no other prayers in this time. Yeah, no other prayers actually. But after Fard, you actually can pray Qadha prayers and, you know, whatever you want to pray at that time. But no nafil. Remember that. After Fard, no. So Fajr is one of those strange ones. After Fajr Salat, you can't pray no nafil, but you can pray Qadha. And before the Fard, you can only pray 2 rakats of Sunnah and nothing else. Yeah, so that's why it says Yukra an yatanaffal ba'da tulu'il fajr. Now, some say you can pray Qadha Salats before the Fard. Yeah, so before the Fard, after Fajr Salat starts, you can pray Qadha. So you can add that in as well. Because here it says Yukra an yatanaffal. It's considered to be offensive for a person to pray nafal. So before Fajr, no nafal. After Fajr, no nafal. Apart from the 2 Sunnahs. بأكثر من more than ركعتي الفجر. Right, more than the 2 rak'atay of Fajr means the 2 sunnahs of Fajr. So when they say rak'atay al-Fajr, they refer to the sunnahs of Fajr, 2 sunnahs. Right, and last masala. Okay, alright, so that's that. Last masala now is وَلَا يَتَنَفَّلْ قَبْلَ الْمَغْرِبِ. So a person is not allowed to pray nafal after, before Maghrib starts. So this is sunset. Right, so the sun has set. Right down over here, sunset. Just make this a bit bigger so you guys can see. Alright, so this is sunset. And let's say sunsets at 7 p.m. and the Maghrib starts at 7:05. Takes 5 minutes to set. Right, Maghrib starts at 7:05. And the congregation, the people pray their prayer at 7:08, for example. So this is Maghrib time. And the people, they pray the Fard prayer at 7:08. So you got 3-minute gap between Maghrib, people praying Maghrib, and between Maghrib starting. So Maghrib starts at 7:05 and the congregation stands up and prays at 7:08. So you got 3 minutes there. In those 3 minutes, can you pray any nafal? Hanafis say no. No nafal is allowed. Alright, so over there, I'm just highlighting in blue. No nafal. And that's it. So Hanafis do not allow nafal at this time. وَلَا يَتَنَفَّلْ, and he should not pray nafal قبل المغرب, before the Maghrib. Okay, so that's basically today's lesson. So 4 masalas we covered today. What are the 3 times that we're not allowed to pray any salat in? Sunrise, zawal and sunset. Apart from asr of that particular day, you can pray. Okay, so even if, as long as you get a little bit of the salat before sunset and the rest of it after at sunset. So you can't pray salat, you can't pray janazah, you can't do sajda tilawa. The second masla is after Fajr and after Asr, you're not allowed to pray any nafal until sunrise and sunset. The third masla is that once Fajr starts, you can't pray any nafal at all apart from the 2 sunnahs. But you can pray qadha and other things. And the last masla is the masla regards to, can you pray nafal just before the congregation stands for Maghrib? No, you can't. And there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson today. Thank you very much to all my patrons. You guys are wonderful, blessed souls. May Allah put barakah in your time and your efforts and your wealth. Thank you for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. If there's anyone out there who enjoys the work I do and wants to support my channel, then please check out the description below. I really appreciate all of your feedback as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Jazakumullah khair, guys, for all of your support. Without your support, I wouldn't have been able to produce the videos that I've put up on my YouTube channel. And there is so much more that I really want to do. And without the support of you guys who are patrons, generously supporting this channel, I've been able to get myself a camera, which, as you guys can see, Jazakumullah khair for watching this video. I hope to see all of you guys. If you guys are interested, please leave us feedback, get in contact with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. quality of this camera, mic system, software. I've been able to hire an editor. So what do I want to do? I want to make lots and lots and lots of more videos for beginners, for intermediate, advanced in the subjects like Arabic and fiqh and hadith and tafsir and aqidah and all those other things as well. And for this to happen, again, this channel needs support. So if you guys want to become patrons and support this channel, then check out the link below. Also, if you do become patrons, you'll have access to videos that I don't put up on my normal YouTube channel. So check that out, inshallah. And there's most other perks as well that you guys can benefit from. And if you want to access this channel through social media, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, Facebook page, and other things as well that you can visit. So Jazakumullah khair again, guys. Thank you very much for your support. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.